In this video, we're going to talk about how to remove your hinged dust cover and install the JMac Customs rail dust cover. This is going to be a similar process for these Zastava M85s, M92s, as well as your Krinkov pattern firearms. Now we want to start off by removing this hinge pin here. Now to do that, you can typically just use a punch. In some cases, you may need to use a Dremel or a drill just to remove a little bit of material. On this M85, it's very simple. You just need a punch and you'll be able to punch that right out. All right, so you can see here on the pin that there's going to be a circular portion that's retaining the pin in place, and we just need to punch the center of that pin straight through the dust cover. And with that pin removed, your dust cover is going to come right off. If you're utilizing your factory gas tube, you're going to want to make sure that the gas tube retainer stays in place, and that'll be held in once we install the rail dust cover's hinge bracket. If you're not going to be using the factory gas tube, or if you're going to be using the JMac Customs railed gas tube, you can go ahead and remove that piece altogether. It simply punches out from front to rear using a standard punch. And with that piece removed, you can go ahead and set that aside, and we can now install our rail dust cover. The rail dust cover installs the same as it does on our AKMs as well as our Zastava pattern rifles. The main difference you're going to see with these is that there is a rear sight integrated into the hinge bracket itself. You're going to want to start by loosening the two screws that attach the hinge bracket to the rail dust cover. Go ahead and put your rail dust cover in place. And we're going to start the 4 screws that attach the hinge bracket to the lower mount on the JMac Customs MMS handguard. Once you have all 4 screws hand tight, go ahead and apply final torque in a crisscross pattern. And with those 4 screws torqued down, we can now go ahead and torque down the 2 screws that attach the hinge bracket to the rail dust cover. Now for final assembly, all you have to do is install the rear portion of the JMac Customs recoil spring and guide rod assembly, as well as the lower anchor. To do that, go ahead and compress your recoil spring. And you're going to take that front section and make a T. That's going to allow you to remove this cap on the end. And your spring will come apart. Now we're going to go ahead and compress that spring back onto the MMS rear guide rod. And we're going to again make that T. Go ahead and put that end piece back on. And now our recoil spring and guide rod is assembled. And that's how simple it is to install the JMac Customs rail dust cover on your ZPAP 85, M85, M92, or other Krinkov pattern firearms. If you ever want to go back to stock configuration, all you have to do is replace that pin for your hinge dust cover. There's no permanent modification required. If you have any questions, feel free to head on over to the JMac Customs website and reach out using the contact form there. Thanks for watching.